Welcome back, Reds. Liverpool news is exploding right now, from Xabi Alonso agreement claims to the Liverpool versus Man City FA Cup clash, huge Salah replacement rumours, and a Konate transfer battle heating up. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool news and transfer updates. Xabi Alonso Liverpool agreement claims torched, but Arne Slot's sack decision has divided FSG. Liverpool's managerial situation remains a topic of intense speculation as the season enters its crucial final stages, with reports suggesting divisions within the club over Arne Slot's long-term future. But what is the truth behind the scenes at Anfield? Team Talk has been given a key update. The Dutch coach, who guided the Reds to Premier League glory in his debut campaign, now faces scrutiny amid inconsistent domestic form that has left Liverpool outside the top four in the table and facing a battle simply to qualify for next season's Champions League. After a summer that saw the Reds splash out some 440 million, 505 million, 600 million on several big-name signings, the drop-off this season has been as surprising as it has been unacceptable, leaving Slot's future under significant scrutiny. As a result, insiders indicate that a formal review of Slot's position is scheduled for the end of the season, allowing the board to assess progress comprehensively. Currently, Slot enjoys job security, as much job security as football management can bring, that is, and no immediate change is anticipated. There is also no evidence of any pre-agreement with any potential successor, despite recent reports suggesting Xabi Alonso is set to take over. Slot retains current backing from key figures at Anfield, who are keen to avoid hasty decisions. However, the availability of Alonso has created significant internal debate, and the club's chief decision-makers are understood to be divided on the best course of action, or at least not yet certain on which way the pendulum will swing. The former Liverpool midfielder and highly regarded coach, recently departed from Real Madrid, commands enormous support among fans and some within the hierarchy. His deep connection to the club, combined with his tactical acumen demonstrated at Bayer Leverkusen, makes him an appealing option for next season should a change be sought. As it stands, Alonso is viewed as the peak and only option to replace Slot as manager were FSG decide to go in a different direction. The pivotal factor appears to be Liverpool's performance in the Champions League, having advanced strongly through the league phase and now competing in the round of 16 against Galatasaray. The Reds are still in contention for silverware. Securing qualification for next season's competition, or ideally lifting the trophy outright, would likely solidify Slot's position and quiet calls for change. Should the campaign end without Champions League football or major honours, a move for Alonso seems increasingly probable. Nothing agreed, but Alonso availability looms large. His status as a free agent adds urgency, with some hinting at verbal understandings contingent on outcomes, although we understand nothing is agreed. The Spanish coach's allure stems not just from nostalgia, but from his proven ability to build exciting, possession-based teams. For now, Slot remains in charge, focused on turning the season around. The coming months will decide whether continuity prevails, or if Liverpool opt for a high-profile return of one of their own. There is no doubt Alonso's name is being spoken about inside Liverpool, however it will be down to Slot and how he finishes the season to see if he will be in the dugout at Anfield next season. Graham Bailey reported for Team Talk on Thursday that Slot has entered a defining period for his future, with Alonso the only name on FSG's replacement wishlist. More on Liverpool. Blockbuster move accelerates. UCL star open to switch. Liverpool are ready to make an early move to beat the likes of Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain to an elite attacking talent, we revealed earlier on Tuesday. The Reds have also found their ideal successor for Virgil van Dijk in central defence. But Barcelona think the 26-year-old will join them instead, our sources state. Elsewhere, there's rampant speculation about the future of the once-again injured Alisson Becker, and the latest from Italy has revealed what Liverpool are really thinking over the Brazilian's future. In other news, the Reds have been given the all-clear to sign an impressive Champions League defender after he revealed his love for Liverpool FC. In another news, Liverpool versus Man City fixture date for FA Cup quarter-final to be impacted by Champions League. Liverpool has been drawn against Manchester City in the FA Cup quarter-finals, with Champions League commitments expected to impact the fixture scheduling. Manchester City and Liverpool's FA Cup quarter-final encounter is unlikely to be staged in the traditional Sunday slot, owing to Champions League commitments. The fixture between the two Premier League heavyweights stands out as the pick of the ties as 8 sides compete for a place at Wembley. However, both clubs' potential involvement in the Champions League could determine when the match takes place. The quarter-final is penciled in for the weekend of April 4th, though the exact date and kick-off time remain unconfirmed. The Champions League quarter-finals are scheduled just days afterwards. Should either Man City or Liverpool progress from their round of 16 ties, it will affect the scheduling. City heads to Real Madrid for their first leg on Wednesday evening before hosting the return leg next Tuesday, March 17th. Liverpool, meanwhile, travels to Turkey to face Galatasaray on Tuesday, with the second leg taking place next Wednesday, March 18th, at Anfield. During the previous FA Cup round, television slots spanned from Friday evening, 3 matches on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday night. If a similar pattern follows, then City versus Liverpool will likely be scheduled for either Friday or Saturday. City secured their spot in the quarter-final of the tournament following a 3-1 away victory over Newcastle on Saturday evening. 24 hours beforehand, Liverpool became the first side to guarantee their place in the last 8 courtesy of a 3-1 away triumph over Wolves. The remaining quarter-finals will feature Chelsea versus League One outfit Port Vale, Championship side Southampton welcoming Arsenal, and the All-Premier League clash between West Ham and Leeds. The fixture dilemma could also affect both Chelsea and Arsenal, should they progress through their respective Champions League knockout matches. Chelsea travel to PSG on Wednesday evening, whilst Arsenal are also on the road against Bayer Leverkusen, with the second leg scheduled for next Tuesday. Should all 4 English clubs advance through their fixtures, then it is probable that broadcasters will have little option but to place West Ham versus Leeds United in the later Sunday time slot. In another news, Liverpool decide on Salah Heir with blockbuster early bid, planned for sublime 86.5 meters rated teenager, exclusive. Liverpool are prepared to make an early move for highly rated winger Yan Diomande, as they look to stay ahead of some of Europe's biggest clubs, Team Talk can exclusively reveal. The RB Leipzig teenager has emerged as one of the most exciting young wide players in Europe, and sources have confirmed that Liverpool are internally discussing the possibility of pushing forward with a move as soon as this summer. Importantly, we understand the Merseyside club's interest is not fully dependent on the future of Mohamed Salah. Liverpool are planning for the long-term succession of the Egyptian star, but even if Salah remains at Anfield beyond the summer window, which does now look less and less likely, we are told the Reds would still be keen to bring Diomande in. Diomande has been in exceptional form in recent weeks, and his performances have only strengthened Liverpool's conviction that he could become a major star. The 19-year-old has registered either a goal or an assist in each of his last 4 appearances. Liverpool scouts have been present for all of those matches as they continue to build a detailed profile on the Ivory Coast international. Despite the excitement surrounding him, clubs are still conducting extensive due diligence. Diomande has only been playing top-flight football in Europe for just over 12 months, meaning potential suitors are eager to gather as much live data as possible before committing to a major transfer. Sources indicate that Diomande is well aware of Liverpool's interest, and those close to the player have encouraged the Premier League giants to make their move. Liverpool's recruitment team are also conscious that they may not have the race to themselves for long. Bayern Munich are admirers of Diomande, though at this stage the German champions are hesitant to fully commit due to their existing options on the wings, including Luis Diaz and Michael Olise. Another factor is RB Leipzig's valuation, which is believed to sit around the $100 million 86.5 meter, 116.5 meters mark. However, Bayern are far from the only club monitoring the situation. We understand that reigning European champions Paris Saint-Germain, as well as Spanish powerhouses Real Madrid and Barcelona, have all continued to scout Diomande extensively since the turn of the year. Despite the mounting speculation, Diomande himself is understood to be relaxed about the situation. Yan Diomande to receive early Liverpool approach, sources. Sources say the starlet is open regarding his future and would have no issue waiting until after the next World Cup finals before making a definitive decision on the next step in his career, where he is expected to feature prominently for the Ivory Coast national football team. For Liverpool, though, the strategy may be to move sooner rather than later. With rival interest building and Diomande's stock continuing to rise, Anfield decision-makers believe an early approach could prove decisive in winning the race for one of Europe's most coveted young attackers. The player put Liverpool on alert in January by admitting his father is a fan of the club and that he would love to shine at Anfield. The likes of Manchester United, Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur have also scouted Diomande, but we revealed on February 16th that Liverpool's interest in the most advanced out of any English club. Last month, we debunked claims that the Reds have already reached an agreement with Diamond on personal terms. While sources state that nothing is agreed, Liverpool remain in a strong position to get the deal done. Liverpool news. Van Dijk successor found. Talks held with Villa Old Boy. Meanwhile, team talks Fraser. Fletcher has revealed that Liverpool see a Serie A defender as the ideal replacement for Virgil van Dijk. However, Barcelona lead the pursuit and are confident the Italian will join them instead. We also confirmed on Monday that Liverpool and Man United have joined the race for a coveted French playmaker. Elsewhere, sources also revealed that Liverpool have held talks and are giving serious thoughts to the prospects of signing a former Aston Villa star this summer after a green light that he can leave his Saudi Arabian employees. And finally, the Reds have been given the all-clear to sign an impressive Champions League defender after he revealed his love for Liverpool FC. In another news, Florian Wirtz had meetings with Liverpool teammates to turn fortunes around. Liverpool star Florian Wirtz has opened up on how player-only meetings helped the team navigate through a difficult period that derailed the team's Premier League title defense. Florian Wirtz has revealed how a series of private meetings helped the Liverpool dressing room navigate the difficult spell that undermined the team's title challenge earlier this season. The Reds began the 2025-26 campaign as overwhelming favourites to defend their Premier League crown after clinching the title in Arne Slot's first season. However, a punishing run between late September and November, which saw the Reds lose 6 Premier League matches in 7, effectively ended their title aspirations prematurely. Form has since improved, with Liverpool suffering just 3 defeats in 23 matches across all competitions. Wirtz reveals that players took it upon themselves to hold one another accountable during that troubled period. There were a few meetings in the changing room with only us players, Wirtz said on the Reds roundtable. We had a difficult start and this club and this team was not used to this, that we don't win almost every game, you know. And I think it was important to believe as a group that we are making progress and it needs to go better. Us, as a team, we want to give the fans something, but we are not in the position to say we are winning this or that. So we focus on the games, but we know that there's still something to play for. Most what I did was just to make myself strong in the head, to bring myself to the best position, to bring it on the pitch, and that helped also. It was really good to start scoring, and from then on it was easier to find the goal more. I can't even explain why, because in football, I think it's a lot of momentum, and when you score one time, then you can use it for yourself, you know. For Wirtz, adjusting to life in the Premier League proved difficult following his summer move from Bayer Leverkusen. It took him 4 months to net his first league goal, but the Germany international has gone from strength to strength since and currently boasts 14 goal contributions across all competitions. Speaking after Wirtz ended his league drought back in December, Slot said, "The team have seen how much he, Wirtz, did already for us, creating chances and being so close to a goal. He will go on and score many more goals than one for us. I think Florian did more than only score today." In another news, Liverpool transfer news as Ibrahima Konate handed 17 million offer amid Real Madrid and PSG battle. Liverpool transfer news as Ibrahima Konate is said to be in talks over a new offer ahead of the summer, while the Reds are reportedly in a battle with Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain for a signing. Liverpool faces a huge week for its Champions League hopes, which in turn could have a big impact on its summer transfer plans. The Reds face Galatasaray in the first leg of their last 16 tie later today, before hosting the Turkish side back at Anfield next week, with a Premier League clash with struggling Tottenham sandwiched in between. Arne Slot and his side know how important a place at Europe's top table next season will be, especially with more additions needed in the transfer window, and it's vital they boost their chances on both fronts over the next few days. Here is the Liverpool.com verdict on the transfer gossip to emerge around the Reds today. Ibrahima Konate, Liverpool. Real Madrid is back in the running to sign Ibrahima Konate this summer, with Defensa Central claiming that the Spanish giant has reopened contact with the defender's agents. Los Blancos have been linked with Konate for some time, although were said to have turned their attentions elsewhere after the French international's inconsistent form earlier in the season. An upturn in performances, though, could now see a move to the Bernabeu back on. Real is claimed to be negotiating a bonus fee to try and tempt Konate, with around $17 million said to be on offer. What's more, the defender is said to be ready to push for a departure from Anfield, with his contract expiring in the summer. Liverpool.com says, it feels increasingly likely that Konate will be leaving Liverpool this summer, and it would be no surprise to anyone if he did end up at Madrid. Bonus or no bonus, if Real want a player, they invariably get their way. If Konate does leave, then Liverpool simply has to buy another defender, even with Jeremy Jacquet set to arrive. The Reds would need some of a similar age to Konate in order to bridge the gap between the veteran Virgil van Dijk and the much younger Jacquet and Giovanni Leone, both of whom may even need time at the start of next season to get to full fitness. Eli Jr. Krooppy, Bournemouth Liverpool, is among 3 clubs showing an interest in Bournemouth's Eli Jr. Krooppy, according to French outlet Telefoot. The 19-year-old has caught the eye with 8 goals in his first season at Bournemouth, having joined the Cherries from Lorient last year. As well as the Reds, Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain are also linked to Krooppy, who is said to have ambitions of one day winning the Ballon d'Or. Liverpool.com says, there is plenty of hype around Krooppy, although it feels very early to be talking about him making a move to one of Europe's big teams. Although he has impressed at Bournemouth, you can't yet judge whether he's going to be the superstar some suggest he will be. He's certainly one to keep a close eye on for the future, but making a move for him this summer would feel like a huge gamble. In another news, Alexis Mac Allister shows class with response to Liverpool contract question. Ryan Gravenberch was sent a congratulatory message by Alexis Mac Allister after he signed a new Liverpool contract, but his teammate is not currently negotiating with the club. Liverpool midfielder Alexis Mac Allister has confirmed that he's not actively negotiating a new contract with the club, but congratulated teammate Ryan Gravenberch after his new deal was announced on Saturday. Gravenberch, 23, agreed to terms on a new 6-year contract that will run through the 2031-32 season. The Dutch midfielder arrived at Liverpool in 2023 and has since become a key player for the club, playing a pivotal role in the deep midfield during last season's Premier League title run. Mac Allister also joined Liverpool in 2023 after winning the World Cup with Argentina and has since become one of the best midfielders in Europe. The 27-year-old has been loosely linked to Manchester United and Real Madrid in recent months, but has yet to sign a new deal and commit his future to Liverpool. During Monday's pre-game press conference, with Liverpool facing Galatasaray on the road in the Champions League knockout stage, Mac Allister was asked about his future. In the wake of Gravenberch's deal, Mac Allister said, "First of all, I want to congratulate Ryan. I think it's really good for him and he deserves it because he's been a really important player for us in a season when we won the Premier League, which is not easy at all. In terms of me, we are not in contract talks, but I'm not in a rush, and that's only a fact." Mac Allister's contract runs through the 2027-28 season, but securing his long-term future will be on Liverpool's to-do list. Mac Allister appears happy at Liverpool and, as he said on Monday, is in no rush to sort a new deal. The Argentina midfielder isn't the only player linked with a blockbuster move elsewhere. Dominik Szoboszlai has also attracted interest. Szoboszlai's deal also expires in 2028, but he is reportedly in talks over an extension. Mac Allister, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch could all be tied down, easing the strain on Liverpool and head coach Arne Slot. For Gravenberch, extending his stay at Liverpool was a no-brainer. "I feel really good," Gravenberch said after signing his new deal. "I was really proud to extend my contract at such a big club. So, I'm really happy that I can stay for many more years. I felt directly the trust from the club, also from the manager. The decision for me was easy to make. My family is also happy here. We are now here almost 3 years, so I know everything already. I'm happy that I'm here." Gravenberch also described his close relationship with the fans, which played into his decision. "I have a really nice relationship with the fans. Always when I do something good in the stadium, I hear them singing my chant," he added. "I'm really grateful for the supporters because without them, we would not be where we are now. In the future, we want to give them many more trophies, so hopefully we can get that done." In another news, Mohamed Salah told best days are behind him as Liverpool urged to sign perfect replacement. Dietmar Hamann believes Mohamed Salah's best days are behind him and has named Michael Olise as the perfect replacement for Liverpool. Liverpool cannot depend solely on Mohamed Salah's goal-scoring prowess to salvage their Champions League qualification ambitions this season, warns Dietmar Hamann. The Merseyside club have struggled to defend their Premier League crown and currently occupy 6th position, just outside the European elite competition spots on goal difference. Whilst finishing 5th may prove sufficient for Champions League qualification, Arne Slot's squad have already suffered 9 defeats this campaign, with their star forward Salah's previously reliable goal output significantly diminished. The Egyptian international has managed just 5 Premier League strikes this term, a dramatic departure from his remarkable consistency across the previous 8 seasons, though he did find the net against Wolves last week in both the league defeat and cup triumph over the West Midlands side. Discussing Liverpool's campaign and specifically Salah's situation with Boyle Sport, who offer football odds, Hammond commented, "They're all struggling, and the issue with Mohamed Salah is that in the form he's been in over the last decade, he didn't just score and create goals, he created space for others. At times, he was unplayable, requiring 2 players to try to stop him. If you use 2 players on Salah, that creates space for someone else. I think they all benefited from that, and that's gone now because Salah isn't the force he once was. He scored his first league goal since November or something against Wolves. I think it's a combination of a couple of things, but the way the team is playing now, I don't think it's easy for the forwards or wingers to shine because they just don't control games. This control is why they were so good last season. It makes it much easier for the forwards to take a chance and maybe take a risk. I don't think they have that now because they're too open at the back. So, I think it's a combination of factors, but it's fair to say Cody Gakpo hasn't played as well as he used to. Mohamed Salah has struggled since the Christmas before last. He struggled to score goals from open play, and that hasn't changed. It won't change. He might get the odd goal, but he certainly doesn't have the influence he used to have on Liverpool. Hopefully we'll see a little cameo over the last 9 or 10 games to get Liverpool into the top 5, but I think his best days are behind him. Salah made the switch to Liverpool from AS Roma in June 2017. Since then, he's collected every available honour with the club, whilst netting an impressive 254 goals across all competitions. The 33-year-old former Football of the Year has fewer than 18 months remaining on his existing deal, but if Liverpool are already considering his eventual successor, Hammond believes he knows precisely the right candidate for the role. The former German international said, "For Liverpool, Michael Olise would be the perfect fit because he plays on the right-hand side, comes inside. He's been brilliant since he came to Bayern Munich. He's been a bit quiet in the last few weeks, but there are other players who decide games. But now with the Champions League starting again, I think we'll probably see the best of him again. He's a wonderful player. I probably couldn't think of a more perfect replacement for Salah than him. Bayern Munich will be reluctant to let him go because I don't think he's got a clause in his contract. He seems to be pretty settled and happy here. And if he only wants to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid, then that might not even come into the equation. But yeah, I'm sure that Liverpool will try their utmost to maybe get him out of Munich." In another news, Arsenal and Liverpool transfer target responds to Premier League interest. Frankfurt defender Namdi Collins has been linked with a Premier League switch as the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool consider the young German, who has made his stance clear. Frankfurt defender Namdi Collins admits he's surprised after reading rumours about a possible move to Premier League giants Liverpool or Arsenal. The 22-year-old has continued to impress in Germany, leading to the Bundesliga outfit slapping a $40 million, 34 maybe because price tag on him. Collins has become integral under new coach Albert Riera, who has made him central to his back four. Frankfurt have continued to sell their top players for the right fee, losing both Omar Marmoush and Hugo Ekitike over the past 12 months. The latter moved to Liverpool and the Reds are linked with another swoop for a player from Deutsche Bank Park. Collins himself has paid little to no attention to talk of him making a move to England with the 22-year-old, who came through the ranks at Borussia Dortmund, underlining his happiness at Frankfurt. He told Absolute Fußball, "It actually bounces off me pretty well. I'm reading these rumours for the first time myself, which is why I'm partly surprised. I'm very happy to be here at Eintracht." Liverpool could be on the lookout for defensive reinforcements with Ibrahima Konate still yet to sign a new deal at Anfield. His exit would leave a sizable void whilst Joe Gomez is another defender with an uncertain future. The Reds rejigged their backline last summer, bringing in 2 new fullbacks. Arsenal meanwhile have a more settled backline, which is regarded as the best in Europe. The likes of William Saliba, Gabriel and Jurrien Timber are quality operators, and any new defender would need to push hard for a regular starting spot. Collins, capable of playing centrally and at right back, would result in a huge profit if he did leave the club. Frankfurt have also managed to land huge profits in the past from moving on the likes of Luka Jovic, Sebastian Haller, and Randall Kolo Muani, with CEO Axel Hellmann explaining how they keep finding gems. "We have one of the best coaching teams in the Bundesliga," he told The Athletic. "That's really important because we sign young players and the process of educating them, which is what is making us famous at the moment, involves a lot. We are open with our strategy when we talk to the players and to other clubs. That's the reason why we are well connected to other clubs, because they know we take that work seriously. We are an international club. We have the airport just around the corner. Frankfurt is an international city with 147 different nationalities. It doesn't matter if you come from South America or Africa, you have your community here." That's all for today's Liverpool update. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for daily Liverpool news. See you in the next one.